What's going on, everybody? Happy Tuesday. Thank you for joining me. Don't mind the tan. I got burnt to shit the last couple days because it has been hot as hell. Like I said, I want to thank everybody for joining us this Tuesday for what we call Grail versus Grail. I wish I had one of those noises that went ding ding. It's going to be really fun. The last time we did this, it was really successful. A lot of information was given from the chat and things like that. So I really appreciate it. I always like doing stuff when I can engage and get everybody in the chat involved. So thank you so much. I'm rolling with 3 out of the 4 Musketeers here. So let's bring them in before they get tired. I will say, if you're keeping score at home, Hyper Combo Comics was here first. He was here before Face. So this should be interesting.
This should not be celebrated. This should be expected at this point.
I don't know about expected, man. I don't know about expected. I mean, you showed up twice early. Let's slow down, okay? Let's slow down.
In my books, anything more than 1 makes it a streak. So
I don't know about expected. I mean, you showed up twice early. Oh, Jesus.
So nice to say it twice.
Yeah, Jesus. Yeah. So what's going on, man? Happy Tuesday.
Yeah, man.
Are you ready for tomorrow, new comic book day?
I mean, it's gonna be a lighter week. I'm hoping it's a lighter week. I don't want to, just start buying stuff, for no reason. But I think it should be an all right week for new comic book day. You said you're not picking up anything yourself, right?
3 weeks. 3 weeks. I will not be picking anything up. I'm just saving for other stuff. So, yeah. Before we go on, let's bring in our third cast member, Mr. Information. What's going on, Face?
What's going on, man? Listen, you got to let him have that devil every once in a while.
He's going to start. I knew it. Go ahead, Face.
I'm just saying, we got to let you win every once in a while, otherwise you won't keep coming back.
See, I kept quiet because I knew he was going to say some smart-ass remark as soon as he hopped on.
Well, naturally. Wouldn't be me if I didn't.
I was going to say, that's Face, though, man. Come on. So
That's true. This is why we love Face.
So we know why we're here. It's Grail versus Grail. The first time was a success. We had lots of fun doing it. We, not necessarily did we agree on everything, but that is one of the best things about this. We always are able to say our opinions. It's interesting because there's 3 of us, so it works out. All it takes is 2 votes to win. So yeah, I will remind everybody of the books that we went through in the first round. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna do 4 rounds. Okay, so last month was first round. This is the second round. We're gonna get to 4 rounds. Winners move on, and then we will, go into semifinals, final 4, and then the final to get to that. What is the biggest Grail? But obviously, it's just us. It's votes. We do want to get everybody in the chat involved, so we do like your thoughts and information. So don't feel like you can't give your opinion. There's everything. There's modern, silver, bronze, copper. Everything. DC, Marvel, indie. So. If it's not in this bracket or this round, just look at the other ones or the ones that are coming up, and we will get to some books. Again, you also got to remember Grails are different for everybody. So the definition of a Grail might be a $10 book, a $100 book, a $50, a $500, a $1,000, a $10,000 book. It's all over the place. So just keep that in mind, because sometimes when 2 books go up against each other, you might say, well, this isn't a Grail. But at the same time, someone out there, this is their Grail, okay? Before we get started, just want to show you guys this. Boom. Friends of the channel. If you guys don't already know or you don't shop, check out Big B Comics Niagara. They got 3 shops. All 3 shops have Instagrams and Facebooks. They put out a lot of great stuff, especially now that things have been open for a while. They're getting a lot of new slabs and things like that. So go check them out. Tell them Newbie sent you. They might give you something. Next up is comic book pressing from Bleecker Street Comics. $10 a press, $5 a clean. The man's got like 3,000 books on his website. Go check the website out. Tell him Newbie sent you. Big shout outs to him because he just opened up a booth at the flea market in Niagara. Big success, good turnout. I hope to be there next time, not this Sunday, but 2 Sundays from now when I have the day off. So we shall see. But please make sure you guys go check out Bleecker Street Comics. And tell my friend Derek, I sent you at Shape State Creative. If you need a logo, video, intro, whatever it is, he's got you covered. Tell him again, Newbie sent you. And finally, our friends up here at Mutant Beaver Comics, 10% off if you use the code word Newbie10. They ship to everywhere. Mars, Jupiter, Pluto, wherever. Xandar, Antarctica, wherever they ship. So make sure you guys go check them out. Boom. All right. I am excited. I am really, really excited about Grail versus Grail, man. Like, it was one of those that we had a lot of fun. Even after the show, the first time we did it, I think we were backstage for like 40 minutes just talking about some of the stuff. So this is going to be really fun. I will bring up.
There was some controversial picks last time, I remember.
Yeah, and actually, there's a last time the last time we were on, or 2 weeks ago, we said that a book was the winner. It actually wasn't, and I'll show you what I mean. So we're going to remind everybody of the first round. So last month, which ones moved on? So we had Amazing Spider-Man 129 taking down Werewolf by Night 32. We had a New Mutants 98 take down ASM 300. We had Fantastic Four 48 take down 52. We had Batman Adventures 12, Miss Harley Quinn beating out Poison Ivy. We had X-Men 1 beating out Doctor Doom. Submariner in Submariner number 1 taking down the Origin of Silver Surfer. Tomb of Dracula, of course, beats out Werewolf, which, you know.
Of course.
Shocker. We've got, obviously, Ultimate Fallout 4. Now, this one's interesting because this one was done a month ago, and it still beat out everything, even though the rising price of Vengeance. But it, obviously, Ultimate Fallout 4 just exploded not too long ago. So
that pick definitely was not a bad pick now. When
no, not at all. Not at all. This would be different if it went the other way, especially with how we are right now in comics.
Yeah.
We've got Rey Mysterio beating out Scorpion. And this one, we all thought that Hulk 181 won. It was actually Giant Size X-Men that won. So that was interesting because I was interested to put up Hulk 181 against another book. So
wait a minute. Really? It was Giant Size that ended up winning?
Yeah, because Face was on that one.
Yeah, I picked fucking Giant Size, so no surprise.
Okay, so you must have picked Giant Size as well then, right? Because I picked...
No, I thought I picked Hulk 181.
I picked 181 also.
Okay, so then we might have to revisit. We might have to go back and take a look. So this one is, I guess, pending. So
sorry, chat. This is still under review.
Yeah, this one's under the review, but that's okay because the winner of this won't have to battle another Grail until like 2 months down the road or a month down the road. So we're good.
Instant YouTube replay.
Yeah. So before we get started on today's Grail versus Grail, Dan, I demand a rematch on round 1. All right.
Round 1 was which one?
What's that?
What was round 1?
That was those. That was all of those. Oh, probably, this one?
Ah, okay.
Maybe, or he maybe just means like the whole thing because the whole thing was technically the first.
Even this one, I feel like we need a recount on round 1 because I felt like I voted for Werewolf, but you guys must have both voted for the other one.
I went for 129.
Okay, so Face, do you remember which one you voted for?
Yeah, 129.
Okay, so that one, yeah, I was.
Those are the winners. This is the only one that we have to maybe go back and take a look at. So we will go back and Dan, newbie, you're biased on that one because you got it. No, because this was before we did this one before I got the book. So we'll see. And yes, you are right. That Moon Knight book has grown like $600 to $800 in like 3 weeks. It is getting crazy, and I expect that book to maybe double, if not triple, when Moon Knight comes. It's just the way the market is going.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's gonna keep going up closer it gets to that show.
All right, I need 3 readies in order to start Grail versus Grail, round 2. I'm ready. Hyper, are you ready?
Ready?
Face, you ready?
Yep, I'm good.
All right, let's get into it. This is the second bracket, round 2. Here we go.
Ooh.
Round 2, or bracket 2, round 1. Here we go. We all know what these are. If not, I think you're living on Mars. But we got Amazing Spider-Man 361, first appearance of Carnage. A 9.8 has reached $1,200, and I want to put it out there right now. The prices aren't in Canadian. Going up against New Mutants 87, first appearance of Cable. Price tag at a 9.8 is $770. Whew. You guys can go first. I'll go last.
Right.
I'll go
Okay.
last.
All right. So, listen, between the two, I mean, clearly value-wise, I mean, monetary-wise, it looks like DSM 361 is, beating New Mutants 87 significantly. But between the two, I feel that New Mutants 87 does have a bigger upside for the very reason that Deadpool is coming to the MCU, and with Deadpool, we know that in the comics he has a very close association with Cable, and you saw that play out in the movie. And I think it's going to be played out a bit more once he gets to the MCU and once he starts getting his film franchises rolling again under the Disney umbrella. And it's a classic thing where you have villain versus hero spec, and I always tend to side more on the hero side than the villain side. So for that reason, I gotta go with New Mutants 87.
Face. I think I know where Face is on this one, but
Well, see, I mean, the thing is, normally I would probably agree with all that shit that Hyper just said, but I don't know. This is a little bit of a different case because, like, first of all, with Cable, you already have him as an established character. Yeah, he's not been in the MCU yet, but he's still sort of part of the MCU just because we know Deadpool is going to be, and it's kind of already. You just feel like it's really not a problem to just kind of mash that into the MCU already, and it should work out fine. So Josh Brolin's coming back to play him, and it's going to be a good take on him and everything like that. But we haven't seen Carnage yet, and I mean the price point on both of these are, they're not too vastly different. I think Carnage, the first appearance of Carnage has a little bit of an edge, and you're going to see that issue probably spike a little more the closer that we get to Venom. Granted, you'll see Cable go up too as we get closer to him showing up again, but probably, it's already at a lower price point. I think this is one of the rare times where I would rather have the villain over the hero on this one. And yeah, I'll take ASM 361.
Ooh, I figured you were going that way. I was actually, and I know some people, like even in the chat, and some people when I was actually talking about this, a lot of people are like, "Oh, this is no contest." It's actually closer than you think because, like, I did some research and like I asked like just people that I normally wouldn't get a lot of, like I don't normally talk to or anything. Not to say that that's a bad thing or good thing, but just, the way life is. And I asked them about these books and things like that. Here's the thing. I agree with the hero over the villain thing. You guys have heard me say a lot of things about Josh Brolin, the fact that he signed, I believe it's like three or 4 years contract, things like that. So we know that the character is going to be around. Deadpool is coming. There's a lot of rumors about X-Force. I believe X-Force is coming. I've been talking about it for a long time. I've been telling people to pick up X-Force 100 so many times. I think that book is going to go up even more. Let's remember, this book, if you would have picked it up in a 9.8 in October, was like $300. It was like very low, and it just spiked over like the late fall, winter, and things like that. We've already got Josh Brolin. When he comes, is this going to be a $1,500 to $2,000 book? I don't know about 2,000. It could crack 1,000. The interesting thing here is with Carnage is the fact that price, that print run, those late printings. The only thing is we haven't seen Carnage. right? So I know because I own the book that once that image or once that trailer happens where we get to see what Carnage looks like, that book is going to be probably a $2,000 book, which is scary because of the large print count and everything like that. Maybe not 2,000, but maybe like 18 or 1,600. In this case, I'm going to go with ASM 361 only for the fact that that price is there. When it comes, the symbiote is going to get crazy, right? Like we're all on this Venom thing. The price is just going to get ridiculous. Even though I think Carnage is one and done. I really do. But in this round, I'm going with Carnage. Carnage wins 2-1.
Well, exactly. Well, you just said it right there because you're saying that Carnage is one and done, and also you've already seen that the prices, like you showed in there, like the 9.8s have already passed that $1,000 threshold. I'm looking at it more in terms of more percentage room for growth, and I just find that New Mutants 87 for the longest time has been a very undervalued key.
Huge. I agree with that. With that.
So, maybe like dollar for dollar, they probably might not match up, but it's just that if you were to like if I had like to choose between the two and where I would get the most return on my investment, I just find that the New Mutants 98 in the longer run would probably give me more bang for my buck. That's kind of how I'm. Yeah, like probably it might not hit the same dollar amount as ASM 361 at its peak, but it's just I'm just looking at it more in terms of ROI.
Yeah.
So.
All right, before we get on to round 2, I totally forgot to do this, and I apologize to the chat. I really do. But we got the gold medal going to Sam. What's going on, man? Sam is our another Mr. Information. He is our eBay numbers guy. Sam, appreciate you coming. Akuma, thank you so much. Taking home the silver. Renos, taking home the bronze. There you go, brother. What's going on? Bleecker Street, what's happening, man? Again, go check out his page. Go check out his website. It's got a lot of stuff. We're going to try this. P. Keel, what is going on, man? How you doing? My brother.
Man, that's first.
Right? There you go. Dan, what's happening, man? This could be difficult because the market is Silver Age Marvel. Marvel is, yeah, dude, it's fuego. Everything is crazy right now. Rag 718. Yeah, we already said that. Crispy Bacon, Mr. Sith Lordy, Spine Ticks. What's going on? Make sure you guys go check Spine Ticks out and Sith tomorrow at 3 p.m. Eastern time if you're into cards, PSA tendencies. So go check that out. T. Travis, what's going on, man? Thank you for joining. Dun 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 dun. Who dat? What's happening, man? Who dat? I hope you're gonna be around on Friday, man. I got some. I'm hoping you come in and vote for me. So yeah.
Sound like a politician.
I'm being. Hey man, I need all the votes I can get on Friday. So yeah. All right, chat. I'll explain to you what those votes are for. I think I did on Sunday, but I'll do it and I'll let you guys know at the end of this. All right. So ASM 361 Carnage is our winner for round 1. Round 2. Let's get some DC love in here. So we got Batman 171, first appearance of Riddler. Price tag at a raw 7.0 is selling for $1,100. Going up against Batman 155, first appearance of Penguin. CGC 5.5 selling for $730 Canadian.
Wait, newbie, is it the first Silver Age appearance or the first appearance though?
Silver Age. Yeah. I'm going to be honest with you guys. I love the Riddler cover. I think it's always been one of those like cool covers for me. Even though I'm not the biggest Batman fan, I've always disliked this like dragon, thing going on. We've already seen Penguin. We've technically already seen Riddler as well. We're going to see Riddler. Who are we seeing? We're seeing Riddler and Penguin, right? In this next one?
Apparently, yeah.
Yeah, so we're getting both. This one, I don't know. I feel like Riddler is more cooler than Penguin, I guess. I don't know. I just
really?
I've just always felt that way. I don't know why. I don't know why. I've always liked him better than Penguin. For the cover, for what I think that they could do with Riddler, my vote is for Batman 171 here. Really is.
I'll be honest. Between the two, cover-wise, I like 155 a lot better.
What? Oh my god!
You got the flaming dragon and everything, and it doesn't look like some wiffle bat that's just being tossed around or something like that. I don't know, man. Between the two, I kind of find that the Riddler has taken on different incarnations in comics. He sometimes comes off a bit too much of like a goof compared to the Penguin, where the Penguin, I mean, the Riddler is obviously the intelligent of the two, but I just find that the Penguin has that more darker edge between the two of them. And just honestly, this one's a bit of a toss-up for me, but I prefer Batman 155 for that reason. It's kind of hard for me to make like one pick over the other, but I'm just basing it off of just cover and just which character I like better.
Just cover, I would still take Riddler.
I mean, all right.
All right, Face. Looks like you are going to be the deciding vote, my friend. Who do you got in this battle?
I mean, this is kind of a, like you guys have said, this is pretty much a coin flip. You really can't go wrong either way. So I guess, I mean, I don't know. I just looking at it from this perspective would be that if both books were in the same grade, or if I found both of them, in the same grade, which one am I going to prefer? And I would probably go with the 171 just because I think it's going to be a little bit harder to find in higher condition than the 155. Like it's not necessarily me giving the edge to one character or the other, or even preference on the cover. I just think it'll be a little harder to find that 171 in higher condition than it will the 155.
No.
Face, Newbie's not going to fire you if you pick the other book. Just letting you.
I pick against Newbie all the time.
Yeah, I was gonna say he goes against me all the time, man. This is like one of the few times he's on my side. Yeah,
right.
I know this is a bit of a change of pace for Newbie.
Yeah, I'm confused, man. Yeah, I don't know. I'm surprised that you would pick the cover because I've always just thought that this was kind of like a meh cover. I don't know. I think it's the dragon. I don't know. I think they could have.
You know what? I would probably have leaned towards 171 if the Penguin was not there at all. But the fact that you still see the Penguin on the cover, that's why I kind of still lean towards 155. If the actual character itself wasn't on the cover, I probably would have went to 171. Yeah,
but it would have been cooler if, and this is just my personal opinion, it would have been cooler if they did like a, like darker cover with him like, down in the sewers or, just like that darkness of Penguin.
But keep in mind, this is the Silver Age, though.
I know. Penguin being with a fucking dragon, I don't know. It's just not my not my thing. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, at the time, I don't think you could expect too much darkness in your Batman comics.
Whew. So we got Riddler beating out Penguin. Face, I think round 3 or round 4, I've got a book that I think you might really enjoy. And I already know your vote on it. So, but let's see. Let's go to round 3, Grail versus Grail. Oh, yeah, it is this one. Boom. Perfect.
Oh, wow.
Oh, no. Oh, my gosh.
That's not even right, bro.
Oh, my God.
Not right?
What did you call him? It's not Jimbo. It's Usagi Yojimbo.
Wow.
Hey, whatever, man. Whatever.
Wow.
I don't know.
That hurts my heart.
That's
man. Even after I pumped it up so. Oh man, this is definitely. If Seth is in here, this is a clip. This is a clip.
Isn't Jimbo?
Yeah, I feel like we're gonna see this.
You know what it is? Hey, no, you know what it is? I was watching The Simpsons. I was on this marathon. Yeah, and I even think when I was messaging Hyper, yeah, never mind. But yeah, okay. So we know what we got here. Let's be real. Price tag there in a 9.8 sold for $19,800 Canadian. Then we got Hawkman 4, the first appearance of Zatanna. There's rumors now that is going to
Zatanna.
Zatanna. Yeah. Okay. Well, my Spanish tongue and my accent, so just
Carlos,
relax, Hyper. You come early on the show twice, and you think you run. Just relax, calm down. And then we got a price tag here, 6.5 CGC for $2,100. My vote here. I mean, I don't know. I'd probably go with Hawkman 4, to be honest with you. And that's surprising because, like, I don't know. It's not like I'm a fan of either. So,
I mean, do you want to elaborate, or do you just want me to go to my point?
No, that's just it for me. Like, I don't really have too much information on
He's
these.
done.
But
He's got nothing else.
My pick is Hawkman 4 on this one.
Okay, listen. Between the two, I'm going with the first appearance of Usagi Jimbo. Just because between the two characters, he's more of he's a flagship character of his own title, whereas Zatanna, I mean, she does have solo series here and there, but she's never actually. She's always part of an ensemble cast, whereas Usagi is his own, is his own, lead every single time, and it's almost like he seems to have a bit more of a niche, like a cult following. I mean, they both do, but I kind of find that the Usagi fans are a bit more stronger than the Zatanna fans. And that book, I believe, is a tougher book to find than the Hawkman 4. And so for those reasons, I'm probably gonna go with Usagi Yojimbo. The Albedo.
I agree with you. It is the harder book to find. It is.
Yeah. So I'll be going with Albedo number 2. Yeah. Albedo, sorry.
Yeah.
I think I know where this is going because this is your one of your guys. So.
Well, yeah. I mean, but it is a tougher decision than you think. I mean, obviously, for me personally, I would go with. Oh, man, I can't believe you butchered that name like that again. It is Chewy's all over again. It's the Chewy's all over, just like Sis said.
But Chewy kind of let it slide because it was in the spur of the moment. This time he got
a damn slide up there. He put it in print too. It's not just on audio. Yeah. Obviously Usagi is one of my personal favorites, so I'm gonna pick Usagi, of course. But like Hyper said, it's a really hard to find that book at all.
Yeah, it is. It's super hard.
And in good condition and everything. Zatanna is going to hit more of the mainstream, I think, because, obviously Zatanna is DC, and you're going to see the push from DC and Warner Brothers and HBO and everything like that if they do a show or whatever. But, Usagi does have a tie-in with the Ninja Turtles and everything like that, so there's a possibility there. And even with as under the radar as this book has been historically, it's still you see the price tags on it. So yeah, I'll take that. I'll take the Albedo.
Yeah, I figured it was going to go that way. That's why I kind of just went Hawkman 4, especially with the news. I mean, that price tag is before news. Like, that is
right.
This was done a bit ago. That is before the news that she will be getting her own show, it appears. They've got a director in mind. I think that's the only thing that's been confirmed. So yeah, who knows where that book goes. Again, I understand the importance of that other book and how hard it is to find. So yeah.
And the other thing is, sorry, just to your point, Newbie, about how there is a movie or show for Zatanna that is in the works. It's just that even with that news, I guess because of DC's track record, it's more like, for me, it's kind of like seeing is believing kind of thing.
Yeah.
We've also heard about Blue Beetle recently as well. It's just like we're hearing a lot of talks about this director's confirmed and all this and that and the other. It's just that I kind of need a bit more concrete, news of things moving forward rather than just talks and development at this point.
Yeah.
With DC.
Yeah, I will say I remember people telling me when was it? I think it was back in June, July, somewhere around there. I just remember it because it was around my birthday. And I remember having some people be like, hey, man, if you come across that book, Hawkman 4, pick it up. It's going to heat up. And, it didn't heat up right away, but it did heat up. Like, look where it's at now. And especially with, the news of the show. I mean, when you start thinking about something that, you're not really into, in the back of your mind, the old saying of, collect what you like comes in. And then it starts battling if I buy this book and it's profitable, so I think they're both really good books. I kind of knew where one was going, but yeah. So, all right. So 2-1. All right. Round 4, ladies and gentlemen. Bum, 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 bum.
Oof.
Hulk 180 with the price tag in an 8.5 of $2,400 Canadian. Again, I told you guys that all the prices are in Canadian. Going up against Fantastic Four 49, first full appearance of Galactus. Can't butcher that because that's that's Face's guy, so I can't mess that up. With a CGC,
the last one.
With a CGC price tag at a 7.0 of $3,500. Now here's why I kind of put these two together against one another. Hulk 181 is going to have that attachment to, well, is it the first appearance? Is it not the first appearance? Blah, 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 blah. This one, similar, but at least in the notations, it says, first full. But most people will go to 48. However, 49, again, having him on the cover, it being me personally, I think it's the nicer cover, 49, to be honest. I'll be honest. I wouldn't mind having either of these books, to be honest with you guys. Here's where my thought process goes with this book. Hulk 180. And here's why. Because of something that me and Hyper talked about on Sunday. The next best thing. Even though Hulk 181 is getting stupidly untouchable, okay? And it's going to get to a point where there's not going to be many people that can touch it. We're going to get to a point where people are going to chase this one. And I've already seen this one go up because 2 months ago, a 6.0 Hulk 180 was literally like $800, $700. Now it's almost at like 1,800, somewhere around there. I think there's one on eBay. If Sam's in here, he might be able to tell us, but I think I did see it where it was like 1,100, 1,200 Canadian, guys. And it's just shocking because what's the next best thing is happening here, because Hulk 181 is just getting ridiculous. You know what I mean? Like, I was on a show with Vancouver Comic Junkie the other day, and he said, he goes, for some people, that's like you either get the book or you're getting a car, right? Like, you need a car to like get to work and do life, right? Like, if you could only get one of those things, you're probably going to get a car. So, you start thinking about that and you make the argument with that, and you see that Hulk 181 is just getting crazy out of reach. My vote for this is Hulk 180 all day, even though I prefer Fantastic Four 49's cover. What Hulk 180 means wins the battle all day.
Yeah. To your point, yeah, we did mention that on Sunday about the whole next best thing in, and I'm gonna have to echo pretty much what most of your points, what you just mentioned right now. Listen, any other day, usually if it's a Silver Age character versus a Bronze Age character, usually I would tend to lean more towards the Silver Age just because of the history and all that going for that book. But I'm gonna have to go with Hulk 180 just for the simple fact that between the two of them, I find that this one has the better potential for higher growth, even though we know that Fantastic Four 49 will pop once the actual team does appear in the MCU. I just feel that, like you mentioned, 181 is getting to a point where it's getting priced out for a lot of people. So you're seeing them go for a consolation price, basically. And it's not just this book, it's like other books. It's like that the first issue of Wolverine from 1988 and these other books. Like, I was tracking a few of my Wolverine books just to see how they were doing in the aftermarket. Stuff that was like the values of that you're seeing right now were like half or even a third of what they were like a year ago, or even this past summer. So, and I think that trend's just going to continue. And yeah, man, I think that 180 is probably, like, if I'm looking for more return on my investment, probably 180 would be the way to go. Even though I like 49, it's just, yeah, I got to go with 180.
Yeah, I agree. 180 is probably the more solid investment for your money. You'll probably see better returns on 180 over the long run. But that being said, I'm still picking Fantastic Four because I like it, and
Of course, yeah.
I would rather fucking have that. So I'm picking it.
Man, I thought we were going to go 3-0 there. I thought, okay, round 4, we finally get our first, unanimous thing there.
Nope. I would rather have the Galactus personally, so I'm going to pick it.
Yeah. Face, I want to ask you because, again, for people who don't know or don't follow you, rather, Galactus is one of your favorite characters.
Yeah.
You've made that point. Do you think it changes anything once we see Galactus? Like if Galactus is one of those villains that, people are like, oh, shoot, that's a cool, because it's like somebody said in the chat, like the normal people, the newer people, they don't really necessarily know what Galactus can do or what he, his purpose or, better yet, like what his overview could be in the long run, right? So do you think that if he's a success, maybe, we're saying different things about these books down the road?
I mean, it's possible. It's not a big chance, but hey, there's a small chance given the right casting and everything like that Galactus could become insanely popular for some reason. People really get into him and want to see more of him. But it's just tough because going up against anything Wolverine is going to be tough anyway. So, you could see something happen with Galactus, and I really hope that we do because like you said, it's one of my favorites, and they have not done it right yet. But I'm trying to have faith in Marvel. So
yeah, it's not a bad thing to have faith in Marvel.
No, they've done pretty good so far.
I think that this one is, it's a tough one because, you do get those older guys like Dan, right? And Dan, he's like, Galactus is the ultimate badass villain. And I'm not taking that away. I know. But like, it's kind of close. I was kind of going for kind of the same parody, like a mirror image of the books, because Fantastic 48 and 49 have always just been kind of going against one another. So I thought, okay, why don't I put it up against Hulk 180? And I did that purposely because we also are going to see that resurgence in Hulk 180 because, again, Hulk 181 is just getting out of reach for so many people that's probably going to be a book that people just chase because we are in the era of next best thing. I don't know I think we've just always been in it, but more so now, right? Like people are just quicker to just jump on that. Okay, I'm going to go for the next best thing.
And I think it's not so much not appreciating the history of the character. It's just that I'm looking at it in terms of which book has the bigger upside. And like, even though Galactus is a very iconic character, I don't think there is much you can argue in terms of saying that between the two, Wolverine is, like, if you were to ask the general population, Wolverine would probably be the more iconic of the two. Even though Galactus obviously has his place in Marvel history. It's just that, that Hulk 181 is considered the Bronze Age book. So.
Yeah. And I think the other thing, too, is we say this a lot. I think outside of Collect What You Like and Print Run, I think the other thing that comes to mind is heroes versus villains. I think those three statements are said a lot, but here you got, one of the more iconic characters going up against, yes, an iconic character, but a villain, right? So me personally, if I was walking down the street, somebody approached me and said, hey, I got these two books, I wouldn't be mad at receiving either of these. I would take these in a heartbeat.
Somebody walks down the street and says, I got these two books just randomly to you, and punch them in the face, take both and run and hope for the best.
It's probably a facsimile.
Yeah, because there's something going on there.
Yeah.
Nobody should just be walking down the street with these two books in the first place.
Well, remember, that's kind of what I used as like the metaphor for when we first did this. I said, if somebody approached you and said, "Hey, you got one wish. I got these two books. Which one would you rather have?" Right? That's kind of where I was taking it. Yeah, I wouldn't be mad with either of these in my collection, but yeah, I'm definitely on the side of Hulk 180 for multiple reasons. Yeah, I just think we're gonna get into this shift with Wolverine just being like unreal. Like it's I think Wolverine is just gonna be the next not character, because like Spider-Man is always gonna be popular. He's the most popular character, but I think Wolverine is just kind of a close second. And once he comes back and once they do their thing with X-Men, I think it's just gonna take off once again. Regardless who the actor is, whatever, it's just gonna blow up. So yeah, for those reasons, that's my vote. Hulk 180 takes it 2-1. I think in the chat, Hulk 181 was the winner as well.
Yeah, that makes sense. It should
be. Round number 5. So we got two fantastic. What?
No. There's a certain object on that cover that I just want you to say what it is.
Oh, yeah. So we got two Fantastic Four books going head to head. We've got Fantastic Four number 45. That, if you don't know, is first appearance of Inhumans. I know what you're thinking, newbie. The show came out 5 years ago. It was horrible. It was garbage. It devalued this book. It did so many negative things to this book. I dare those people to go on eBay right now and see what that book is going for. It's got a new spike. There's a lot of things going on. Who knows when we see Inhumans? The perfect time to grab this book was, like I said, a year ago, 2 years ago, when it was down. Going up against Fantastic Four 67, first appearance of him. Him, not Adam Warlock, him. I'm a fan of white covers. I'm a fan of black covers. I've always said that this one was kind of an uglier cover. The Cocoon, that's right, is a little meh to me. Obviously, we saw it in Guardians of the Galaxy 2 at the end. So, we kind of figure Adam Warlock is coming. Here's the thing. For me, I love Fantastic Four. You guys have heard me say that. Outside of Iron Man, it's Fantastic Four for me. So you would assume that I would be a fan of Fantastic Four 67. I'm actually a fan of Thor 165 over this book. And I think it's just because it's a better cover. This one's a little tough for me because I think the potential could be a little bit more in 45. My vote is for 45 based on the fact it's a better cover. Black Bolt, Inhumans, all that stuff, I think could be they could have a resurgence and things like that. So for me, I'm going with Fantastic Four 45.
Yeah, this one's a tough one. Both are more or less like cosmic entities, and this is I forgot which round, but this is like another round where it's almost like I could pick one over the other. But for me, the deciding factor, like you, would probably be the cover. And rather than that Cocoon, cover that we got, I'll probably go with the Fantastic Four 45.
Wow, you're agreeing? Wow.
Yeah, no, I'm agreeing with you. Yeah, because I'm not really big on that cover to begin with, the 67, even though it is a very significant key, with the appearance of him. I just feel that the Inhumans, I don't know, are they actually confirmed to appear in Ms. Marvel? I know a lot of people in the chat are saying...
I don't think they've been confirmed. I've never seen anything like that.
Yeah, I wasn't sure, but I would...
Well, I'm pretty sure they're confirmed since she is Inhuman.
But I thought it was mostly...
I don't know if they're going to see the royal family in there or anything like that, but... Yeah, they're going to have to at least touch on the fact that she is an Inhuman, I think, so... I would imagine that they'll mention it. I don't know if they'll bring in Black Bolt or Medusa or anything, though.
They got to bring in Black Bolt at some point, I find.
You would hope so, but
here's the thing. isn't there like Mikey Sutton and even TiVo? They were talking about Illuminati, like at the end of the summer last year, saying that that's like a confirmed thing. We saw how crazy people got after that new Avengers 7. Who's in Illuminati?
Right. It's
Right.
So look at the characters that are in Illuminati that we can't even have anymore. Iron Man, Reed Richards, Professor X, Doctor Strange. So like Iron Man's not there. So what are you going to do? Bring in, Professor
well, the
X?
thing is that they could always do a roster change with the Illuminati. It doesn't. They might not have to stick with the actual character that were actually in the comics. They might do a few swaps here and there, and might keep some of the core players around. Because I mean, Tony Stark was also in the Illuminati, and he's not around either.
R.I.P.
So, but yeah, I'm going with 45 though.
Face, where are you on this book, brother?
Damn, that's a tough one. Man, I don't even know. I guess, like, I just don't. I would like to pick the Inhumans just based on the numbers. I mean, obviously there's more of them, so statistically you probably have more potential there. But they did already kind of tank on that. Whereas we haven't seen Adam Warlock yet, or him, or whatever. We have seen the Cocoon, but
yeah.
That was pretty meaningless so far. So I'm sure they're going to do more with it.
But is it meaningless? Because I mean, I get it if you're following.
Well, so far it is.
But like you guys just said, right? Like they don't necessarily have to follow the comics. And I get what everybody's argument is with Adam Warlock, the fact that he wasn't in Infinity War, he wasn't the one that beat Thanos, and yada yada yada. Yeah, I get that. But like we haven't really seen all that cosmic stuff since that. So like. I really do think that this next Guardians, if we don't necessarily get like another cameo in a different way, like maybe the thing opens or something, or we see him just in the shadows or something, or somebody says, "Hey, Adam," and that's all we get. That is still going to have a big importance and make these books jump. I think the problem here with this is 67, you can go three ways, and it just depends on who you ask. You can go Fantastic Four 67, Marvel Premieres 1, I believe it is, and then Thor 165, right? So you have three different groups of people, three different fan groups that you can ask, and they're all going to have different things. It also doesn't help that this is the first appearance of him, and then it's Adam Warlock, but Adam Warlock is him. So like to those newer people, they're probably like, what? Right. So they're counting on people who kind of talk about this stuff to kind of guide them. But at the end of the day, they're going to get which one's affordable and which one they can grab and get. Right.
Yeah, no, you're right. Because that character does kind of have a divisive fan base in terms of which is his true appearance, I guess you could say. So, that's actually probably another reason why 45 might be a more of an attractive pick.
Yeah.
67.
I will say this too. I do think that when Adam Warlock comes, I think Adam Warlock is going to have a huge future in Marvel. I really do. And
yeah, I guess I'm going to go with 45 in the Inhumans.
Oh, first three. Oh, wow. Yeah, Jeff, on that cover, you get him. It's a black cover. You get him in the suit. It's just him. I totally get it. Yeah. Again, this just goes to, you're going to get people from, who like all three different books, right? Obviously, if you can afford them and money's not an object, get all three. That way, when it hits, it's not going to be a bad thing. But keep in mind, too, the last, week and a half, Thor 165 has jumped. Like anything over a 5.5 CGC has jumped. 7.0s are now in the $1,000 range. So that's crazy because there's no confirmed, there's no nothing. While Fantastic Four 67 has kind of just stayed stagnant. So I don't know if, it could run into that problem of like, will get the next best thing. So that could happen too, but who knows? Yep, I'm on board with Adam Warlock too. And also, if you're new to collecting and you're new in the community, don't forget, Fantastic Four 67 has 2 prints. You want to get that first print.
For sure.
Yeah.
So 3-0, Fantastic Four takes it. Yeah. Man, honestly, this
Pretty
is
sure
one of
it's
those.
going to be Fantastic Four either way.
Yeah. Here's the thing with Fantastic Four 45 too, is I view this book the same way that I did view New Mutants 87. When I was like, oh no, Cable's done, it's done, boom, 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 boom. And then the book in 9/8 were like 250, 200. Like I know so many guys that picked it up like a year ago, 2 years ago, 9/8s, 9/6s for like nothing. And now you see the jump. I think that this is what's going to happen with this one too. What goes up must come down, but what goes down doesn't necessarily always stay down. So just keep that in mind. All right, round 6. Fantastic Four #1 price tag at a CGC 1.8 at 13,000 Canadian.
God damn.
Going up against. So you have
looking
the
at caption. Maybe forgot.
Spider-Man 1 price tag is unknown because I have no idea. However, I found information today that one of the shops in Toronto, so it's like 40 minutes away from my house, is got a 1.0 for $4,700. So we can use that as the price.
That's not bad, actually.
It's not.
I'm just trying to think of the poor fucking book that's going to be up against the winner of this in the next round. Shit.
Me personally, guys, I will be very honest with you. This is a no-brainer for me. And maybe
to me as well, actually.
Say that again.
To me as well, I find like the last 2 rounds were a bit tough. This one was an easy pick.
This one, yeah, I tried, and I couldn't find like a way to give Amazing Spider-Man 1 any justice. I mean, obviously, my pick is going to go to the royal family because let's face it, in comics, that is the royal family. Fantastic Four, iconic cover. It, you look at the Simpsons, you look at all, like people talk about ASM 300. This one is, if not done just as much, right? First appearance of all 4 of them, so you can't go wrong. It is an expensive book. I mean, I can't say enough things about this book. If I could afford it, I would. But yeah, I need a roof over my head and one that I don't call my parents' basement. So yeah, I would love to own it, but my vote, Fantastic Four #1, hands down. Now, here's the scary part about this book, especially from an investment side of things, is if you were to buy this book right now, you would still, if not, get a crazy return once they show up. Like that's the scary part, is you could be buying this book at 13,000 for 1.8 and probably come out with like 20, maybe more at the end of the day when they do come out.
So I'm guessing you're going with. I'm just gonna go on a stab in the dark. You're going with FF1.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Okay, just a hunch. Yeah, listen. There's certain books that I kind of call them like the mac and cheese book, where it's like, if you buy this book, you're gonna have to be probably living off of craft dinner for the rest of your life. These 2 are in that category, but here's the thing: the reason why I say it's a no-brainer is, although they're both iconic books, you're talking about a first appearance of like probably like the most important family in Marvel history versus the first series, not the first appearance of a character, it's the second appearance. That alone is a big distinction where I lean towards FF. Had it been, let's say, AF15 versus FF1, that would have been maybe a different conversation. But,
well, it could if AF15 wins its round. You never know.
No, it's possible.
They could meet up in the the semifinals. So just
Fuck
keep
is
that in
going
mind.
against. Well, what's going against AF-15? Detective 27? Shit. I mean, like, pretty limited selection.
Yeah, but yeah, for like
Hulk 181, Ultimate Fallout 4, Swamp
no,
Thing 49.
Hulk
Not
181 will
take
not.
any of those over AF-15.
You know Wolverine is my guy, but Hulk 181 won't hold a candle to AF-50.
They're right, exactly.
I'm gonna have to go with FF4. It's yeah. And also just side note, I've never really been that much of a fan of the cover of AS1. It's just like
Whoa, that's a bombshell, dude.
look, I appreciate it for the historical purpose, but just the cover itself, FF1 has a better cover.
I mean, yeah, I got to go with Fantastic Four just because, like you guys said, first appearance of the team, versus the beginning of the Spider-Man run. And that's really all it comes down to on that one. So it's pretty easy.
I get the fact that it's not the first appearance of Spider-Man, but if you ask those hardcore ASM fans, I mean, some of them will still take this just because of the here's the thing, like people talk about the iconic run of Spider-Man, but Fantastic Four has, if not the same value. I think somebody had asked me, and Face, you were on the show, Hyper, I think you were too, but somebody had asked us, what would you take? And I think it was Brian maybe, but it was like, what would you take? The 1 to 50 in Fantastic Four, or 1 in 50 in Spider-Man? And I said I would take Fantastic Four, right?
And I forgot which one I picked. I think I picked ASM 1 to 50 because I think that had more key characters that play a role in Marvel history. Yeah, I think I picked ASM 1 to 50.
Yeah, I think you did. I think you did.
I mean, you talk about iconic runs. I definitely not in the current ASM run, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Those days are behind us right now.
Yeah.
It's funny too because I was thinking about that too, and I was like, which of these properties is Marvel less likely to shit on? And I was like, well, they did try and bury the Fantastic Four at one point
when they were with Fox, though.
And then on the other hand, they are letting this run of Spider-Man continue. So
yeah, it's crazy to think too, though. Like that Fantastic Four, you could buy it right now, and 13,000 seems like a lot. It is a lot of money, but you could probably make 20 grand once they come and they, it gets done properly. Like that's going to be just an insane book to get. That one is going to be like untouchable in 5 years. Like you just won't be able to touch it unless you win the lottery, I guess. Because let's face it, I mean, $20,000, it could even go up higher, right? I mean, that's a 1.8, right? So it's crazy. I personally think Fantastic Four is going to be done extremely well. We're not going to be getting them for like 2-3 years anyway, so it's going to be done well. I think they realize what they have and the mistakes that were done. With the first 2 projects and things like that. So I know they won't mess it up.
And the thing is,
oh, sorry, go ahead, Hyper.
Hold on, I was just gonna add to your point about Fantastic Four. It's like, that's a book that's almost been bulletproof for the longest time. I mean, when you look at the history of what's been happening with the FF run movie, like Fox did that franchise no favors with the movies that it was pumping out, and even the comics lately, they're kind of been hit or miss. There hasn't actually. I mean, we had the Hickman run that happened a while ago that people enjoyed, but the current Dan Slott run isn't exactly. People aren't exactly. It's like Fantastic Four isn't exactly on a lot of people's pull list, at the moment. It's despite all that, this issue still continues to rise, and even I think there was a chart that even like during the recession time, this was like one of those books that was pretty much like recession proof.
Yeah.
And that just kept, you're just gonna see that trend.
Go look at those books during the recession, man. It's some of them, it's insane. Like you go look at comics compared to like some stocks, and it's like you'd be surprised at what you get, especially with like the big boy stocks. You'll be surprised at what you find in terms of data and growth. I will say this for ASM1. And I'm not shitting on it. I like Spider-Man. I mean, Spider-Man is arguably one, if not two, if not has to be in your top 3 all-time superheroes. It's and here's where I think I did it unjustly, but like not a lot of people collect this. Like Comic Knight said he picked this up, and it's like, meh. But he picked it up years ago, and he's like, man, I'm still waiting for it to pop. It is kind of sad that it's it is the first run, but it's not the first appearance. I think that really hurts it a lot. But yeah, and it's also not a really good cover, even though like Fantastic Four is on there. I don't know. I've just never really been a fan of the cover.
Wait a minute. When I just said that, you gave me like the shocked look.
Oh no, because I thought you were talking about Fantastic Four.
Oh no. Yeah.
Yeah. So. That's why. Yeah.
I mean, you're really not wrong with either one of these books. So.
Yeah. I mean, look, if I had either one of these books in my collection, I'd be a happy man. So I wouldn't complain for either.
Read or die. We can go through that one at the end. So once we're done, let me know, because I always like to get some that the chat has in mind for us. And you never know, some of these books that you guys are talking about might be on the next couple rounds. So just keep that in mind. All right, gentlemen. So Fantastic Four takes it. That is 2 3-0s in a row. Another Fantastic Four book moves on. All right, round 7. Here we go. Amazing Spider-Man 15 versus Amazing Spider-Man 50.
Son of a bitch.
So we got 2 villains, so we can't use villain versus heroes. We've got 2 villains that we haven't really seen, and I'm not going to count Daredevil's show for Kingpin. Nothing against it. It's just we haven't seen it screens or anything like that. So first appearance of Kraven in a CGC, the price tag is a 4.0, $1,600 Canadian. Wow, the Kingpin one of the more iconic covers around at a CGC 5.0 is $900 Canadian. So they're roughly same ballpark, I guess you could say. The thing that helps the Kraven one is the fact that there's more going on. It's more colorful, obviously. And it's earlier Spider-Man. You're talking about the 15th issue of Spider-Man. Here's the thing. I was leaning more towards Kraven. Watching the show when I was a kid, I mean, he was around for a lot of the episodes, right? A recurring character. It's nicer to me. Like if I had to pick both these covers and which one's nicer, I like the Kraven one. In the sense of like what could be around a little bit longer and would probably give you more bang for your buck, it's probably 50. It's probably Kingpin, because while I see both of these characters coming into the MCU, there were some rumors. I'm not going to say they're confirmed, but there were some rumors about Kraven coming in shortly. We don't have really rumors about any of them, but I don't think that Kingpin is one and done, where Kraven could be one and done, right? So I think longevity-wise, 50 has a lot more potential. My vote to me would be 50. However, I do think that, first appearance of Kraven, number 15's got the better cover, and it's early Spider-Man, so who wouldn't want that?
Yeah. Listen, I feel like I'm going to be copying some of your arguments, but yeah, it is what it is. Normally, I'm partial more to covers that actually have the first appearance as well as the, character in question on the cover. So in this case, you would have Kraven on the cover, but Kingpin's only on the cover. His first cover appearance was, I believe, ASM 51. Be that as it may, I'm gonna have to go with 50 for several reasons. Between the two of them, I find that 50 has the more iconic cover. The whole Spider-Man No More thing, that's been like one of those iconic storylines. And the other thing is, like you just mentioned, the whole longevity of it. Like, and I know you didn't want to mention the whole Kingpin on the Netflix series, but I kind of feel that show kind of gives us a bit of almost like a case study of how Kingpin can work, and how, like you said, he's a character that definitely doesn't have to be a one and done, because he could be a character that might not always have to be in the forefront of the issues, but he could be the guy that's kind of like behind certain chaos that's happening in New York City. Whereas Craven has to be always in the limelight. Like he's not so much like a manipulator as much as Kingpin. And between the two of them, like in the MCU, like how like how believable is it for like a dude with like a lion, like costume to be running around NYC? I like for more than a couple of films. It just seems like he's like one of those campy villains in the Silver Age from the Spider-Man run that kind of had a good run like in modern comics and all that. But I just feel that Kingpin has more of an appeal with today's generation.
Wait a minute. You're giving legitimacy to the dude running around in a red and blue fucking spider costume, but a guy can't run around New York with a lion on his head?
It just okay.
Just remember there was Rhino too, right? And that's even worse. That's like probably one of the worst. Like if I'm a villain or something, what am I gonna do? I'm gonna get the tightest gray suit and put a fucking horn on my head. That's just that's an argument for another time. But yeah, go on.
Well, the thing is with Rhino, keep in mind they try to modernize him where they made him almost like a mechanized version of the Rhino.
Yeah, I'm talking just like the cartoon. Sorry, I was just talking.
Oh yeah. I mean, obviously, it is Marvel. They could play around with like serums and all that to give people super strength and whatnot. But I just find that between the two, Kingpin is ultimately the bigger villain, like in terms of popularity and in terms of he also just seems a lot more charismatic and all that. And I just find that kind of translates well on the big screen as opposed to Craven.
Yeah, this is pretty easy for me too. In that I'm gonna take Kingpin because one, again, he plays a part in Spidey's world. He plays a part in Daredevil's world. All the street level heroes. Kingpin definitely, gets his hands in everything going on across the board as far as they go. For me, it's got the better cover. I like 50's cover better than I do.
Really?
Yeah. It's the more iconic, more classic cover.
Yeah. Oh yeah, 100%.
But
I said that. Yeah, I said that.
Now, whereas with Craven, like I think you can get a little bit more out of him than like one movie. I think you can spread him out a little bit. Give him like an introduction, maybe do a Sinister Six thing with him because he did play a part in the Sinister Six. But ultimately, yeah, his best storyline is the one where he dies at the end. So you kind of know how that plays out, and doesn't really speak a lot for the life of the character.
Yeah.
So
I think the one thing it's got going for it again is the fact that it's the 15th issue of a very important run, right?
For sure.
So yeah, but I mean, obviously, yeah, when you go iconic covers. Obviously, 50 is one that usually jumps up. A lot of people have done, different artists and things like that. So who knows? And let's not forget, like I said, when I was saying my piece is he is. And I like how somebody said it, but somebody in the chat was like, he is the street level Thanos villain. And it's true. He is. He could be around for a long time. He also has interactions with a lot of these villains that Spider-Man deals with. Let's not forget that. He deals with all the villains, and, he either pays them or gets rid of them or is fighting with. So, like, there's a lot more possibilities with this character as well. You got to look at it from an investment side, too, where I don't think it's a one and done. And it'll just keep rising in price. So, yeah. So, 3-0 Kingpin.
And don't forget, I think I completely forgot that Kingpin was the villain in the first Edge of Spider-Verse movie also.
Ooh, so, right. Yes.
Who's to say that he might not make a return in the sequel?
Yeah, it's possible.
Brick Hunter saying, let's keep it real. We would not be talking about Craven book if not for MCU, but ASM 50 is iconic, always desirable. Yep. 100%, man. All right, round number 8, and I know I've left a really good one for round 10. I really did. So get ready. All right, round 8. We've got first appearance of Adam Warlock. Price tag CGC 9.0, $2,000 Canadian, going up against a book that just doesn't seem to die in price, okay? Thanos is done. Drax, I mean, he's around, but let's face it, like how popular is Drax? But this book just keeps staying afloat. It's crazy.
He's my favorite Guardians member.
What? Oh man, come on. Team Rocket over here. We got a price tag here, CGC 9.0, so the same for $1,800. So you're basically getting the same grade for the same price. Oh man, this one's tough. Like for me, it's a little tough. For you guys, it might just be like, this is easy, whatever. For me, it's tough because it is one of the Iron Man keys. And Iron Man, you guys have heard me say this a lot of times, just as well as a lot of people know, is Iron Man doesn't have that many keys in the run. It's a weak run. So this is one of the more iconic ones, especially when you're talking about Thanos, who is a big villain. On the other side, though, you have Adam Warlock, who I think will just get super popular. This book, I don't think it'll be out of reach, but it will be, I think that 9.0, $2,000 is probably like a $4,000 book if he shows up and he's popular and he hits and all that stuff. For this one, oh man, I don't know if I got to pick my heart or if I got to pick my investment. I think I might take the investment because I do think that Thanos will go down in price eventually. Once we start getting all these other villains and all these other storylines, people might forget about Thanos. But Thanos is supposedly rumored to be coming in flashbacks or have some role in what's going on. So I'm going to rip the Band-Aid off, and I'm going to say, for investment purposes, that black cover, the nicer cover, because Iron Man's not getting his ass kicked in this cover, I'm going with Thor 165.
All right. I was thinking about this while you were speaking because it did seem like a bit of a toss-up, but the more I thought about it, the more I'm leaning towards one book. And believe it or not, newbie, I'm actually going to pick an Iron Man book.
Whoa, okay.
So yeah, I've turned to a corner. Listen, both I'm with you. When Adam Warlock does appear in the MCU, I think his popularity will hit another level because MCU just has a good track record of doing that with characters. But I'm picking the Iron Man issue just because Thanos, even though he's kind of off the table for now in the MCU, that character has pretty much transcended pop culture. Like you see the whole Infinity Gauntlet and all that being cover swiped, and rappers and all that are kind of donning it, and it's basically become mainstream. He's hit that mainstream popularity as opposed to Adam Warlock. And even in the comics, every time you think he's like dead or like off the table, somehow they kind of always write him back into the storyline because he's a popular character that's just like Kingpin, like you were mentioning in the last round. He's like a foe to many characters in the MCU, publishing and the media side. And also you have Drax's first appearance as a bonus as well. So for that reason, I'm picking the Iron Man book.
Wow, you kind of made a lot of points where I thought, shoot, I think I should switch my vote. So, Face, what do you got going, man?
Yeah, I mean, actually, for me, this is pretty easy too. I'm gonna go with Iron Man first appearance.
Man, how is the Iron Man guy not going with the Iron? Oh man,
Yeah.
This is gonna be close.
Because
Shame on you.
Thanos,
Shame on you,
like,
newbie.
I don't think Thanos is done at all. Like, you'll see more of him in
Yeah, I think so too.
in the comics, in the MCU, everything. So, whereas Adam Warlock, there's even as popular as Adam Warlock may get, there's still a lot of issues with him. First of all, the interest is spread across several different issues, like you mentioned before.
Yeah.
And second, his storyline gets kind of convoluted and out there at certain points. So it'll be interesting to see how they play out that storyline if and when they do Adam Warlock in the MCU.
Listen, I did say that it was tough because I was going with my heart versus investment. And while I did say I do think that Thanos will come back, there's rumors that he's going to come back, not in a prominent role, but like, in flashbacks or whatever, or time travel, whatever the case may be, he's going to be around. So it's gonna have value. Same with what Hyper just said. Hyper, like, he's right. In pop culture, rappers, like, you see it. He is an icon in that sense. He was the first big badass that, you know, kind of took over a few movies, and you know, he was the one that beat them for the first time, right?
Well, the thing is, you also hear it in a lot of people's lyrics now. The whole snapping twice and all that. That's kind of been, like, you know, they reference that quite a bit.
Yeah. So, you know, I had my mom say that too. She's like, "I'll snap you late," and I was like, "Okay, whoa, mom, relax." So yeah, you know, it's got a lot of things. Yeah, I was looking at it more like this, where I could probably grab that Warlock one right now. So I could grab Thor 165 right now, make a profit, flip it when he hits, and then jump over and pick up Iron Man 55 at a lower price, because eventually, once we get our Galactuses and once we get our X-Men and this and that, you know, like, it's like me and Hyper were saying on Sunday show, it's out of sight, out of mind, right? So once the character is kind of just out of sight, out of mind, it's going to get that, you know, people are just going to be like, oh, well, yeah, Thanos is whatever. Even though it's iconic, it might be iconic just for the people who were around for Endgame and things like that, right? So that's kind of what I was thinking. But yeah, of course, I would love to have Iron Man 55. I don't want anybody leaving this stream or this show being like, oh my God, he doesn't want Iron Man 50. No. That's not what I'm saying. I was just looking at it from a different lens. That's all.
Someone is about to give you an A-OK, and then after this segment, they're like, nope, okay, he's not getting it anymore.
Yeah. So Thor.
Let's go back to the part where Newbie turned his mom into a supervillain.
Rock is saying, I mean, my 5-year-old niece knows who Thanos is, so that dude, yeah, it's true. All right, well, hey,
Newbie's mom needs.
Yeah, so we'll see. We'll see where it is. Hopefully, you know, what I'm thinking will happen, because again, you know, once Adam Warlock does show up, it's just a matter of when. At this point, like, that book's just going to explode. It's probably going to get a really good return on it if you buy it at a good price. And then you can go back, put some money in your pocket, and still get Iron Man 55. So hopefully that works out for me. All right. Round number 9.
2 more rounds. Ooh, oh. Ouch.
So here's the thing. This is why it was kind of hard, the other one, because I did want to put these two together. I did kind of want to go, you know, I wanted to show DC some love. In the next bracket, we do have a little bit more DC. But yeah, so here, I think we all know what we have here. We got Batman number 1. The price tag is a little crazy. I couldn't find an accurate one. And then we have Amazing Fantasy 15, first appearance of Spider-Man. That's the only price I could find. But yeah, so we're looking at a 6.0 CGC, 72 grand. I think that's actually lower than what it actually is going for. I think it's actually higher. So, Rock, my takeaway is Newbie said, man, no, man, that's not what I said at all.
That's all I heard.
Newbie, I was about to give you my Tales of Suspense 39, but since you voted Iron Man, well, no, oh, come on, man. So yeah, this one for me, oh shit, man, I don't know.
Wait, Newbie, do you know what the release date of Batman 1 is? I'm trying to just look it up while you're speaking.
1931, I thought.
Okay, so it was definitely in the 30s, right? 30s or 40s?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, 30s.
Okay. Yeah, and I was just curious which era, because I know that obviously Detective Comics 27, you know, is in that era, but how far back Batman 1 came after, that's what I was curious about. Yeah.
Yeah. This one, man, is
what first appearances happen in these issues?
Sorry?
Just lay out what first appearances happen in these issues.
In Batman 1?
In Batman 1?
Yeah.
I think it's just the first book of the run. That's it.
Uh-huh. All right.
Yeah. I didn't say it was the first appearance.
No, I know.
Oh, yeah.
That's
No.
my point. Like,
yeah. Wait. Hold on.
But you also have to remember, it goes back to like how we kind of did Spider-Man versus Fantastic Four, right? It's one of the rare books, super early. I mean, the price tag on that book, even though it's not his first appearance.
Well, hold on. There is actually a few first appearances though.
Isn't it Joker and Catwoman?
Well, yeah.
Joker and well, Selena Kyle. That later.
Right.
Selena. So okay, even for that, that's kind of crazy because you're getting the first appearance. Okay, so that's still pretty good.
It's
Here's
still
the
you're
thing.
comparing that shit to Spider-Man.
Here's the thing: if somebody came up to me again in the street and said, "Hey, which one do you want?" You'd be surprised at which one I'm going to take right now. Oh, fuck. You know what? Why don't you guys go first? You guys give me your vote. I got to think about this one.
You know what? I've gone first. Face hasn't gone first yet.
Hey,
I want to
go first, man.
Okay, I'll go first. I mean, obviously, the smart money is on Amazing Fantasy 15. It's the first appearance of Spider-Man. Regardless, I'm still gonna pick fucking Batman 1 because it's the first appearance of Joker, and that's my personal favorite character. So I have no problem picking the book that I personally want. So I'm picking Batman 1. But yeah, smart money is on Amazing Fantasy easily.
Okay.
Okay, Hyper.
Okay. Here's here's my rationale for what book I'm gonna pick. ASM 15 obviously has the bigger first appearance between the two, because I feel that obviously Spider-Man is a bigger character than the Joker, even though Joker is one of my favorite villains. But we're also
exactly.
But here's the thing though. There's a changing of the guard I find that's happening with Spider-Man, where by no means am I discounting the importance of AF-15, but I find that Peter Parker Spider-Man in the newer generation is going to be have a lot less importance than Miles Morales. All right. And I just find that between the changing of the guards and all that, and how like kids lately have been gearing more towards Miles as being their Spider-Man. Spider-Man, Peter Parker is going to be more for our generation, and and the generation before that. So that book will still grow, but I
hold up, but Hyper, before you go any further.
Yeah, I know.
I understand what you're saying about Miles and everything like that. But how many different Batmans in the last how many years have we had? Damian Wayne took over for a while. Dick Grayson was there.
Yeah, but we've always
Tim Fox.
But you know what? With all those iterations of Batman, people always have put their hat on Bruce Wayne as the Batman, young or old.
Yeah, because they haven't come across their fucking Miles Morales yet.
But the thing is, all those versions of Batmans that you mentioned, they were basically a blip in history. They didn't like go the full mile with Damian Wayne as Batman or Dick Grayson. He was just a placeholder until Bruce Wayne came back.
But they did the same shit with Spider-Man before Miles. I mean, you had Spider-Man 2099. There was other versions of Spider-Man that didn't catch on as well as Miles. And then Miles finally was one and caught on. They just haven't found the same one for Batman yet. That's all it is.
True. But I'm just talking about where we are in history right now. Maybe they might find somebody that might be a successor to Bruce Wayne. Who knows? That could happen.
Don't forget Ben Reilly too.
Yeah, but
exactly.
Again, you guys are picking characters that did don the Spidey outfit, but weren't there for the long haul. They just had their moment in.
Oh, and me, I dressed up as Spider-Man when I was like I think like 10 years old. So
yeah, okay, there you go. I'll throw you in the mix also.
Yep.
Miles is the only one that currently you can tell that they're putting all their marketing and all their push behind it, publication-wise, TV-wise, where they want Miles to be that poster boy Spider-Man going forward. I'm not saying that Tom Holland, Peter Parker, or whoever plays Peter Parker down the line won't have his place, but you can clearly see that there is a changing of the guard. And the other reason is, look, you're picking a Golden Age book versus a Silver Age book, so that's why I kind of give it a bit of a notch on the Golden Age side. So listen, for those reasons, as much as I like AF-15, and actually one of my shops actually just recently had one for sale. I think a 1.8 for like 25 grand.
Which one? Sorry?
Of AF-15.
Oh,
they had a 1.8 for like 25 grand. I'm gonna have to go with that.
I saw my shop had a 0.5 for 12.8.
Wow.
Oh.
Okay.
Yeah, it's okay. So we got Hyper going fantastic or amazing fantasy 15. Sorry.
I went off computer and they just picked up.
You're going AF 15. Face is going AF 15 as well.
Well, I mean, I picked Batman as a personal choice because of the Joker. But yeah, Amazing Fantasy is where the money's at.
So Newbie, you're the tiebreaker.
Okay, here's the thing. And I thought this was a tough one because even when I was like doing it, I mean, obviously I have the edge because I'm making it, and I can, get the arguments ready for one another. But this one was really tough because you got Joker. I forgot it was, Catwoman or Selena. I thought it was just Joker, but I also, I know how rare this book is. You're also, like Hyper said, you're going golden versus silver. It's not like it's silver versus silver. I get all the Miles stuff. I really do. And I get the generational shift that we're going through or what it seems like. However, I think that Amazing Fantasy book is always going to be like that. I will say, I think it was hidden. I can't remember, but somebody in the chat said, you never see that Batman 1 for sale. It's just doesn't happen. And as I just said, I saw one at a shop for $12,000. Now, was it in the greatest shape? No, it was a 0.5. But, if I downsized my home or I got a promotion or whatever the case may be.
Downsize
right?
your home to what? A fucking igloo?
To a closet.
To a smaller home. To a smaller home.
Living in your car.
You could still get AF 15. I don't think you could do that with the Batman 1, right? So again, going with that analogy, like this guy is coming at me. He's like, Newbie, you can have one of these for free. Which do you want? I'd probably go Batman 1.
Yeah, I mean, the day you see me buying AF-15, the day my coworkers are going to ask, why are you biking to work?
Yeah, I'm just going with that one. I don't know. And I'm not a DC guy, but just the rarity of the book and everything like that, you don't really see it. Like I said, there's many ways you could come up with the money for an Amazing Fantasy 15. Mm-hmm. Like I said, there one's for 12,000, so who knows. But yeah, for me, the vote is Batman number 1.
So
I really wanted to say AF 15 because going yeah.
So AF 15 doesn't make it to the semifinals. Interesting.
But Iron Man 55 does. Just keep that in mind.
This is the world we live in.
Wow. All right, guys. You can stay at my place, noobs. All right, guys. This is it. I promised you a crazy number. Okay, hold on. Rock says, it seems insane for me to say this, but I'd go AF 15. I've dreamed of owning a Batman 1, but no, scrap that. I'm going Batman 1. Fewer out there, rising in cost. Don't see. Yeah, that's the thing. And you have that iconic first appearance too. Not like Spider-Man isn't an iconic appearance, because it is, but you also have arguably the greatest villain of all time in Batman 1, right? If not the second greatest villain. I don't know. I think we've done a villain show, and I said, Joker is probably the most iconic villain.
I think, yeah, that's
so.
I would say the same. Yeah,
that's an accurate statement.
Yeah. To get a Batman 1, you need Bruce Exactly. Yeah. Okay, Hidden. I'll keep that in mind. Now we won't see AFM in the bracket. It happens sometimes. Hey, Florida lost to Oral Roberts University yesterday, so I'm pissed, but it happens sometimes. It happens. There's upsets. In this scenario, Hyper, I have to assume you have one of those annoying ring handlebars. Here comes Hyper riding to work again.
No, listen. My bike will probably have the basket in front with the. I don't know if you remember, Newbie, when McDonald's had those Ghostbuster toys, but I used to have like the Slimer.
Oh, yeah. I remember that.
Slimer horn where you squeeze him and he actually makes a horn. Like, man, now I wish I had that.
Yep. Dan is saying, if I sold my entire collection, I might get a low grade AF-15, but couldn't even afford the back cover. Yeah. Yeah, you don't see many. I think the only time I've ever seen Batman 1 is on TV, where I believe it was Heritage Auctions or an auction thing on the History Channel. Was doing an episode on comics, and the guy sold the Batman 1, and I think that was like 2 years ago or something like that. So you don't, people who have that are, they're like Iron Man or Bruce Wayne themselves, to be honest with you.
Put it this way: people that have Batman 1 won't say they have Batman 1, or at least they'll say it, but they'll never accept an AOK from anyone, because that way those people know their address.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. So you know what? Batman 1 is gonna have. It's going to be interesting to see what book I put it up against moving forward, because there's only so many. Like, I'll probably try to get one with like the same price point or rarity, things like that, right? Like, obviously, I'm not going to put it up against, fucking Iron Man 55 or, ASM 361. It's just,
It's not really much it can go up against, though. There's like Tech 27.
Oh, you'd be surprised. You'd be surprised. All right, so Dan, I hope you're still in here. I promised you guys a good round, number 10, final round. I personally think that round 9 and round 10 are really good. So hopefully we have some fun here. But you guys knew what I was going to do. This one is close to the damn heart. So let's get it. Let's rip the Band-Aid off. Round number 10. We've got, and this is one that I asked you guys at the end and the chat, and a lot of people were saying they mentioned this one. So I thought, you know what? Let's have it. So we've got Tales of Suspense 39. If you guys know me, you guys know that is the ultimate book. I would sell everything I have to get that one. Price tag 1.0 is $5,000 Canadian. Going up against Journey into the Mystery 83, price tag at a CGC 1.5, 4,985. So let's round up. Let's say $5,000. Basically, same grade, basically same money. You got two iconic characters in Thor and in Iron Man. Guys, I don't think I mean, my vote is super easy. You're talking about the guy that kicked this whole thing off. If it wasn't for the success of Iron Man, we would never have what we have now. The actor is iconic. This book is iconic. Like, you guys talk about, homage covers and people doing, different covers. Like, this one is one of them as well. Not as many, but it's still out there. This one is a blue chip. You can't tell me you would not love to have Iron Man. Let's remember, he died for us, people. Just keep that in mind. I think I'm biased with this one. So, yeah, you guys know where my vote is going. Tales of Suspense 39 all day. However, I will say the Thor one, it's got not more potential, because I think that these books are going to, they're at where they need to be just because of the iconicness. But, we are going to see Thor more than we do see Iron Man, right? So that's going to be a thing. But for me, guys, clear cut, this is Tales of Suspense 39 all day. I wouldn't even care what book was beside it. It would be Tales of Suspense 39 all day.
I figured. Yeah, if you would have picked the other one, I would have been shocked. Listen, despite that original costume making him look like one of the cast members of Wizard of Oz, I do find that both covers are iconic, and I do rag on your guy Iron Man, but I will give him his nod. He does have his his place in comics history as well as the MCU history. But in the here and now, it just seems like I know that technically Tony Stark Iron Man could come back in some form, either as an AI or something back in the MCU. But I'm gonna have to go with the future, and the future is kind of with Thor. And even though Chris Hemsworth may not be around for that much longer, I'm gonna have to go with Journey into Mystery 83. Just because also it's not like I did a poll or something, but between the two characters, I would think that Thor probably has a bit more of an appeal to the mainstream audience than Iron Man.
What?
Yeah, just because think about it. Also, Thor has that heavy metal vibe to him and all that, especially like lately with the whole Donny Cates run and all that. It's just that the whole God of Thunder aspect, and they're both the OG members of the Avengers, so it's not like in that case it's a bit of a wash. But I don't know. I just feel that they both. I'm giving Thor the nod, just be more of the mainstream appeal. So Journey into Mystery, 83. It's a tough choice. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh man, this puts me in a hell of a position, doesn't it? I get to be the superhero or the super villain. And we all know I prefer villains, so I'm definitely taking Journey into Mystery.
Wow.
The thing is, look, as much as these two issues are pretty comparable, in just about every aspect, it all comes down to, like, if you look back at the history of the characters before the MCU, neither one, Thor or Iron Man, were the biggest of characters with Marvel. And that's one of the reasons why Marvel kept the rights to them, was because nobody else really wanted them.
Mm-hmm.
And then Marvel did the movies, and both characters now are, pretty huge hits. The thing is, even with Iron Man being successful in the MCU and everything, his comics run success has been pretty limited.
I was gonna say the same, yeah.
Says the guys that picked Iron Man 55,
which is one of the rarities for his issues, and that was based on Thanos, who again branches out into way more franchises than just Iron Man. So you see, that's kind of one of the things with that. Like, obviously, if you put like the first appearance of Darkseid up against something comparable, you're probably gonna go with Darkseid's first appearance too. But other than Iron Man, you've got like the Mandarin, who is a cool villain, and then he's got some kind of B villains that nobody really gives a shit about. And with Thor, you at least get Loki, who's cool as shit. So there's just I think there's a little bit more potential there across the different mediums from Thor than you get with Iron Man, but it's not a lot. It's like just the smallest edge I would give Thor, just because of Loki.
Sorry, go ahead, Herbert.
I was gonna say, with that, me and Face are just gonna bid you guys farewell. This will be our final show on the Newbie channel. Newbie will be doing hobby solo going forward. So I want to just thank the chat,
fired,
and for being with us. And
man, I wish you would have gone first, because I was just gonna like take both you guys off and just say, like, that's the beauty of having your channel. You could just
right,
people off. But you beat me to it, so now it would look stupid. I will say, when you do have your channel, your vote counts as many votes as you want. So like, my vote is technically 2 or 3. Do I want to go for the tie, or do I want to go for the win?
Don't be that guy, Newbie.
So I don't know. We'll see. I might have to flip a coin, but clearly it's 2-1. I don't understand how this is possible that Tilson suspended 39 lost.
And this is nothing.
Loki did it.
Newbie, trust me. I sometimes poke fun of your dude just for the fun of it, but trust me, I was trying to be objective as I possibly can. And even if you never picked Iron Man as your favorite guy, probably still would have picked Journey into Mystery, 83. Like Faye said, lately his comics have been just resonating a lot more with the general population. The last Iron Man run that probably hit well was the Matt Fraction run, the Invincible Iron Man run. So.
Oh man, I thought that Iron Man was a clear win here, but I guess I was wrong. Yeah, and people are still voting. Yeah. I didn't see that one coming.
That's a tough one, though.
Yeah, I didn't.
That is a really tough one.
I did not see that one coming. So let's just make a recap. So, we know what's going on for the third bracket in 3 weeks' time. We know. So let's go all the way to the beginning to take a look at even the round that we did last month. Okay, so that way there's some people who may not be familiar with this to know which books we've already talked about and what to expect in the next ones. All right. So in the first bracket that we did a month ago, here are the winners. We have Amazing Spider-Man 129 taking down first appearance of Moon Knight.
Mm-hmm.
We've got first Deadpool taking out Venom. First appearance of Silver Surfer and Galactus taking down Black Panther. Harley Quinn taking down Poison Ivy. X-Men 1 taking down Doctor Doom. We've got Submariner number 1 taking down. This one was interesting to me, but Submariner taking down Silver Surfer. The Origins. This one I think was a 3-0, but yeah, we got first Blade, Tomb of Dracula 10 taking down the first appearance of Werewolf. Of course, we have Ultimate Fallout 4 taking down Vengeance number 1. I was going to say Rey Mysterio. So we have Mysterio taking down Scorpion. And then the big one, which actually we have to go back and see because
controversy.
Yeah, then there's a little bit of controversy here. We believe that Hulk 181 actually won, with me and Hyper saying Hulk 181 and Face saying Giant Size X-Men. But for whatever reason, it says winner Giant Size X-Men 1. So we're going to have to go back and take a look to see which one of these is moving on. Again, guys, this was done before I bought my Giant Size X-Men. So, I didn't fix this one. And then let's go through the books of today, the winners, so we see who won. So we've got Carnage beating out Cable. We've got Riddler taking down Penguin. We've got
Jimbo.
Newbie was hoping Hawkman would have won, so he could just say Hawkman.
Yeah. So we got
And that's
Jimbo.
why I picked Journey into Mystery.
Going Jimbo, he won there. We've got Hulk 180 winning. So it's going to be interesting to see where Hulk 180 and Hulk 181 end up. It'd be interesting to see if they came across each other, but we'll see. We got Fantastic Four, number 45, beating out 67. We've got Fantastic Four, number 1, beating out Amazing Spider-Man 1. I think that one was a no-brainer to a lot of us. It was a 3-0 count as well. We've got a 3-0 count to Kingpin over Kraven. And the shocker, the Iron Man guy does not pick Iron Man, but that's okay.
And then loses.
Because Iron Man 55 still won with a 2-1 vote. The last 2 rounds were a little crazy, but we had Batman 1 moving on over Amazing Fantasy. So Amazing Fantasy 15, first appearance of Spider-Man, is out in the first round. That is crazy. That is crazy. But like I said, there is upsets all over the place. If you watch NBA or NCAA right now, there's a lot of them. I mean, Florida just had an upset. That's my team. They lost to Oral Roberts University yesterday. So it happens, guys. And finally, we have Tales of Suspense beating out Journey into the Mystery 3-2. So Tales of Suspense moves on. No, I'm just kidding. I got to play by the rules. 2-1. Tales of Suspense lost. So Tales of Suspense is out. I mean, I had a lot of fun. I learned a lot about you guys.
What is that?
I realized a lot about you
Y'all
guys.
are some vindictive sons of bitches.
So yeah. So
If it'll make you feel any better, next Tuesday segment we could just do a Tales of Suspense 39 appreciation night or something.
yeah, we might have to. So yeah, that was a lot of fun. I will take into consideration, and there were some people who were putting out some suggestions, or they said, hey, this book versus this book. Some of them I saw, and I didn't kind of highlight them because of the fact I know that they're on the next one. The next round is done. So, just hang in there. But like I said, a lot of the books that you saw from last month and this month will be back for the third bracket. So like I said, there's going to be 4 brackets, and then the winners move on. So we got 2 more brackets. The next bracket, third bracket, should be the first week of, or no, the second last week of April, somewhere around there.
Okay.
But we'll get to it. So yeah, just make sure that you guys tune in. With that said, I dropped a video that me and Hyper did. Well, it's not technically a video. It's just the spec stuff that we talked about on Sunday. So if you missed it and you don't want to hang out for 3 hours, we dropped the spec that you can go check out. So go tune in for that. I have an unboxing video that's coming out possibly tomorrow, if not Thursday. I haven't decided. Friday, I will be on Tony Sands' channel, The Tone, Tony. So go check it out. I will be posting a few things about that on my IG. All I need you guys to do, well, 1, go support the channel. 2, go vote newbie. I will be challenging another person for the world title. So basically, we take books that we have and we compare them against one another. I just need you guys to go and vote. The show starts at 11 p.m. Friday Eastern time. I'll probably be on later on, but my man Hyper is supposedly on it. Who knows? I don't know. Maybe on it. I don't know. So maybe go support him if he shows up or he doesn't show up. I don't know. But definitely go and vote Hyper. Definitely go vote newbie. I would appreciate it. What do you guys got going on? Hyper, what do you got going on your channel?
Oh, okay. That you put me on the spot there. I guess that figures with the whole Tales of Suspense 39 thing. But it's listen. Same deal. You could find me on IG. Wait, where did my handle disappear? Oh, okay. Never mind. Okay, now I didn't realize that when you highlight, your handle disappears. Oh wow, interesting. Anyways, okay. I digress. You can follow me at hyper.combo.comics on IG, and my link to my YouTube is on the bio. Still 2 videos there, and I hate that I have to keep mentioning that, but I will eventually put more videos up, and when I do, you guys will be notified. And I'm working with something with Face as a side project where we're still kind of working some logistics out on that front. And yeah, that's it.
Cool. And Face, what's going on with your channel, sir?
Yeah, you know, we got a lot of real life stuff going on for several of us. So sometimes it takes a little longer to put these projects together. But like Hyper said, we're working on our show that we're going to be doing here, hopefully within the next couple weeks. And Keys and I are working on a reshoot for the Trans-Metropolitan video because the sound came across pretty rough on it. And during the video, I actually didn't hear it on my end until I saw the rewind. We're going to go ahead and reshoot it and put it back out there before we start our series up.
Cool. So before I forget as well, so you guys know that Sunday we'll be doing our new comic book day news and spec show, 9:30 p.m. Eastern time on Sunday. And then Tuesday, before I forget, we've got the hottest comics of March. But Team Nerd Herd is actually coming to crash the newbie channel. They will be joining us. I got a few members from Team Nerd Herd that are coming to join us. So it's going to be a lot of fun. I can't wait. Solid guys. If you guys don't know what Team Nerd Herd is, please go check them out. I'll have all their information on the next video that we do on Tuesday. So 9:30 for us on Sunday, Tuesday 9:30 again. Hottest comics of March. Tomorrow's new comic book day. Enjoy it. Hope you guys collect everything you want.
Wait, newbie. Just a quick thing, because Dan mentioned on Friday that he won't be able to come on because the comic canon show. But isn't the canon show at 8 p.m. though?
Ooh, that's true.
No, but that shouldn't conflict, right? Because
I was on it. Yeah, I think it was like 8 p.m. I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe he's going to bed. I don't know. You know.
Okay. No. I'm just going like if it was a concern about time conflicts, I don't think that should be.
Yeah. If you guys can make Tony's channel and come vote for us, that'd be dope. But we know, it's Friday night. It's late. I get it, guys. So don't worry. But go support a channel. It's a fun channel. It's a fun segment. So definitely. So guys, that's it for us. Keep searching for them books because they are out there. Boom. Nailed it. Later.
Peace.